Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the adjacent matrix. So previously we discussed about the graph and the types of graphs and graph with using in the matrix. So let me see the adjacent matrix. See in this matrix V1, V2, V3, V4. So in this matrix V1, V2, V3, V4, we will convert into the matrix that is called the adjacent matrix. So V1, V2, V3 and V4. So V1 is connected with V2, not V1. So it will be the 0, and then V1 is connected with V2. So 1. Then V1 is connected with V4. So V4 is 1, and then V1 is does not connect with V3. So it is 0. Next, V2 it is connected with V1. So 1, and then V2 does not connect with V2. So it is 0, and then V2 is connected with V3, and V3 is not connected with V4. So it is 0. Next, V3 is connected with only for the V4 and V2. So V2 and V4, another it will be the 0. Next, then V4 is connected to V1 and V3. So V1 and V3, so another it will be the 0. So in this matrix is called the adjacent matrix. Then in this adjacent matrix is the background of signals. So let's see the traffic signals under the rule of in this graph theory. See all the graph theory in this signals they are using in the connected graph. That is called the they are using the adjacent matrix and as well as graph theory. So let me see that the traffic signals there is a connected graph. Why it is connected graph in the traffic signals? Let me see that the one of the signal is open, then automatically another signal will be closed, and then simultaneously the another signal will be open. One of the portion is open, then another one is closed. So in this signals that all the signals are connected. So if you open the one signal, then automatically the few signals are closed and few signals are open. So here the traffic signals is the most using in the graph theory. So under the matrix. Then another one, see V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. So let's see that is adjacent matrix in the vertices V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Then V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. See, V1 is connected with V4 and V2. V4 and V2. So see V4 and V2. So another it will be the 0. Then next V2 is V2 connected with V3 and V1. So V3 and V1. Then another will be the 0. Then V3 is connected with only V2, V4, V5. So V2, V4, V5. So next V4 is connected with V1 and V3 and V5. So another will be 0. Then V5 is connected with V4 and V3. So V4 and V3. So this is the adjacent matrix of the 5 vertices of in this above graph. So this is the adjacent matrix with using in the graph theory. So in this graph theory, it's the most important tool in Gen AI. Thank you.